our guests here have promised that the first one or the best question, maybe the most challenging, will be given a 1-hour tryout for life coaching or executive coaching. Okay, how do you feel about that? So each one of them, right?
Or counseling if needed.
Yeah, counseling if you're suicidal. No, no. There's counseling about career pathing and business. And stuff like that.
Wow.
Okay, so let's go back to the advantages that women probably have. I feel that in staying, keeping to one track more consistently. Women don't give up that easily. I know that in my wife. Whenever I want to give up, she's the one pushing me forward. That's why you're right. Behind every successful man is a woman with a whip. How do you feel about that?
I totally agree with that, and also it got me reminded with my mom. She's actually my role model in terms of being a business person. My dad is more of the the executive career type. He spent 30 years of his life, in an organization, in the banking industry. And so it was my mom who was my role model in terms of business. And I would really see that in terms of flexibility, like she would, we started with, with a small store. And then afterwards, when there was a demand for like catering for food, she immediately branched out to that. And when I was in college, there was again another opportunity that came up, and it was now in the area of baking. And she just plunged into it. No knowledge about baking, but because there was a need, and there was also an offer about, they were closing their business, and here was this bakery equipment available. And my mom, no knowledge about baking, she just, I'm going to buy that. And until now, that's the #1 source of livelihood of my parents. And my dad, who had already retired from his corporate life, is now part of that business.
Wow.
So, yeah, that kind of thing, very flexible when it's, when there's a demand.
And they learn quickly, too.
And they learn quickly.
Of course, we need to.
Men are sometimes stubborn. There are those of us that can learn quickly, but generally, we take time. And that's why there are more women teachers too. Okay,
we have a question to Miss Candy. Please call me Princess. Not me, her. I mean the caller. I am a graduate of AB Psychology and currently pursuing my master's in guidance and counseling. I want to put up a business which will be an additional income, but the problem is I don't know what business is good and right because I think I'm not good in business and financial management. Thanks. So, what advice can you give, Candy?
Can you give Princess?
Yeah. Thank you, Princess, for that question.
Thank you. Oh, that's a tough one, right?
On-the-spot counseling.
I can only speak also in behalf of myself because I wasn't into business back then. In fact, I didn't like business because my parents are into construction. We had a family business and it basically just closed down and it was there. So, first thing, you need to know financials before you get into business. It's not just the interest to bring you there, unless you want to take the School of Hard Knocks, which I took in the first place, I think the first 2 years. You need to know exactly your interest. Like you're taking masteral in guidance and counseling, you should be at least interested in helping out people. And then you need to look into most probably the service oriented businesses or industry. So you can look into what others, like for example, if you're into service or if you're into guidance counseling, but you're also into baking, there are therapies like that that you can mix and match. Like what we learned also is the left brain and right brain holistic. Like for example, on like the corporate end, you'd be the managing director, but also like during my starting days, I was in the corporate, but I'm giving training to students, even as early as my fresh from Saint School. I took up BSAB Psych. So I got into the call center industry as a call center agent, but I was giving free trainings back then until I met my partner who actually is into business. And we came up with a business model. So you need to also be guided to begin with.
Wow. Okay. So what? Just in a nutshell, what you're saying is don't dive into business just like that. Okay. So Princess, don't just dive into business. Get the experience first that you need, and then once you felt that you can actually do it, learn the skills too.
Yes.
Then you can try your hand at business, okay?
Or find a partner.
Or yeah, find a partner.
Like, remember the business maturity that we were discussing?
Yes,
you know, there might just be some concerns that would be better off when you're well prepared.
Okay, so I guess this next texter.
Oh, there's another question.
Yeah, all right.
What do you find most rewarding being a woman in your type of business? And please share an experience.
Okay, wait. We don't have the name or the location of the texter, so we'll just call you
Miss Texter.
Miss Texter.
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Texter. So Vicky, would you want to answer this question?
What's the most rewarding?
I think it's more about being a person. Because you know, with the business where I am in right now, I think the greatest fulfillment is coming from, you know, experiencing helping somebody. And like, for example, if this person that I coached really altered, when I say altered, it's like, for example, from somebody who's just working, like even on Sundays, being, you know, finding his worth in his work. And now, after our coaching intervention, suddenly he found his balance. All of a sudden, you know, his married life is working, and then he's starting to take care of his body, take care of his well-being. That, for me, is the fulfillment. So it's not really just being a woman, but it's also being a person. And then also, coming from the previous question earlier, I wanna share with that person that, you know, business is very personal. What I mean by that is, you really need to know yourself, such that, you know, the moment you really see your gift and what makes you, you know, tick as a person, then you get to express this through your business. Either it's a, you know, service, or you manufacture cakes, or you do, you know, paintings, and then it becomes
art therapy.
Yeah, art therapy.
Yeah, there's this artist we know, Rina. Yeah, she got into that business. She sells her paintings right now, right? I think she's making good there.
Yeah, she's a cancer survivor, actually.
And a cancer survivor. Okay, so it's time for our tip box right now. We'll just show you the tip box on screen. And this actually shows us some of the things to consider, not necessarily challenges, but things to consider when you're a woman in business. Tip box, please. Oh, okay, so this is about women in business. This is our topic. And on the next page, you'll see some factors to consider when you're a woman, or for women in business. Well, most women run their business from home. Okay, that's true, which is why business is not a woman's only consideration. Marami pa ho siyang kinoconsider.